Ladies and gentlemen, this song is called The Wind of Change Sweeping Across the African Continent. The wind of change sweeping across the African continent. The wind of change, oh, sweeping across the African continent.
The history of Southern Africa in the 20th century was dominated by the rise of apartheid colonialism. Sam Nujoma, Namibia's first president, stood up and fought for his people to free them from the shackles of South Africa's illegal occupation. Nujoma's history cannot be written without the leaders of the frontline states, namely Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Zambia's Kenneth Kaunda, Angola's Dr. Agostinho Neto, and Samora Machel of Mozambique. Julius Nyerere became the first president of Tanzania in 1964, and he stepped down 23 years later. Mwalimu, which means a teacher, was defined as a charismatic leader of sharp intellect, who pursued the ideals of liberation, democracy, and common humanity on the African continent. Nyerere was a teacher by profession, but chose politics.
We must change Africa, and Africa cannot be changed without being radicalized.
Tanzania was the first country to offer support to plain fighters and their training during Namibia's liberation struggle. He died in 1999, aged 77. And there was another charismatic and thoughtful leader of Mozambique, Samora Machel. A nurse by profession, his people described Machel as a people's person.
The struggle continues. Colonialism is a crime against humanity.
He despised tribalism and is known by his well-articulated phrase of, "The tribe must die for a nation to be born." During his time, Mozambique played a crucial role in supporting Namibia's struggle for independence by providing a safe haven and logistical support. Machel, who became Mozambique's leader in 1975, died 11 years later in a plane crash, aged 53. On the western central coast of southern Africa lies Angola. A physician, philosopher, and famous poet was to become Angola's first president. Antonio Neto led the popular movement for the liberation of Angola in the War for Independence for 13 years. Just as with Machel, Neto also had a history in the healthcare sector. The father of the modern Angola was recognized for his contribution to the struggle against colonialism and for striving for the ideals of freedom, development, and solidarity on the African continent. His support for Namibia's independence struggle was decisive in the country's guerrilla warfare.
The necessary and desired cooperation in various domains helped the obstacles of colonialism to be removed.
He later died aged 57 in 1979 after governing 4 years. Known for his prison number at the Robben Island 64446, the anti-apartheid activist and politician Nelson Mandela was sworn in as South Africa's first president in 1994. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by fostering racial reconciliation. A lawyer by profession, he was fearless, disliked intimidations and those who undermined one's intelligence.
Why are you so keen that I should involve myself in the internal affairs of Cuba and Libya?
No.
I expect you to be consistent. I don't know if I have paralyzed you.
No.
Mandela stepped down after serving one term. Rolihlahla also attended the swearing-in ceremony of Dr. Sam Nujoma as president. The Madiba of Mzansi died in 2013, aged 95. The longest-serving president of all was Robert Mugabe, who stood against Western colonialism and imperialism. He became Zimbabwe's president in 1987 before serving as executive prime minister. He does not mince his words against those wishing to stick their nose where they do not belong.
Having and bearing sanctions banning us from Europe, we are not Europeans. We have not asked for any inch of Europe or any square inch of that territory. So, Blair, keep your England and let me keep my Zimbabwe.
Mugabe was a close friend of Nyerere, and after governing for 30 years, he died at the age of 95, just as Nyerere. Then there was a handkerchief man, Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia. A teacher by profession, Kaunda became that country's founding president in 1964. Affectionately known as KK, he was at the forefront of the struggle for independence and opposed white minority rule in southern Africa.
We in Zambia do not accept voters' decision to make Walvis Bay, which is part and parcel of Namibia, as part and parcel of South Africa.
After leading Zambia for 27 years, Kaunda stepped down in 1991 and died at the age of 97. Sam Nyerere was the last man standing of all the leaders of the liberation movements. He joined the anti-colonial politics during the 1950s and dedicated his life to liberating his motherland, Namibia. The man popular for his safari suits, Nyerere, as the commander-in-chief, led soldiers in battlefields.
Oh, Katusha can destroy. Katusha is if he hit here, two shells here, the one they can also destroy Otavi.
All liberation movement leaders have now breathed their last.
His passing signifies the end of the era of the founding fathers of the African Union, being the last one who was alive among those who were in the hall in Addis Ababa when the Organization of African Unity was being established.
Nyerere was buried at the Heroes' Acre, a ceremony that was attended by thousands of mourners nationally and beyond. Julius, NBC News, Windhoek.